This is Mowgli's story. I was born a sick child, raised by a single mother. I had almost every allergy that you can imagine, and if that wasn't enough, I had 16 lung infections before my 8th birthday, so I had to stay in bed a lot. That meant it took me a long time to develop the skills other children my age had already mastered. Some people might think I wasn't able to do anything, but that's not the case. Despite my suffering, I started learning ballet, singing, and playing the piano, and thanks to my mother and my kindergarten teachers, I started to develop an interest in the arts. Until my 7th or 8th birthday, my little brother and me had a pretty good childhood. We never had a lot of money, and there was no father figure around, but my mother tried to support us in every way that she could. But everything changed the day she met her new boyfriend. At first glance, he seemed like a nice guy, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I can still remember the horror I felt when my little brother told me what this man did to him when we weren't around. From that day on, everything changed. My mother went to the police and tried everything she could to bring him to justice, but the judge sentenced him to less than 1 year. And to this day, he never went to jail. To complicate things further, this man was also the father of my little half-sister. And for him, everything went his way. But for us, there was always a dark shadow following close behind. So we had no other option. We went to a women's shelter for a long time. But I'm always looking for the positive aspects in everything. And here's one now. One day, we had the chance to go to the circus show, Africa, Africa, with everyone from the women's shelter. And it was there that I saw real b-boys for the first time in my life. The moment I first saw dancers spinning on their heads and doing windmills, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. This was the beginning of my path of discovery. In a single moment, I realized if there was one thing in the world I wanted to be good at, this is it. When we finally got back home, I started searching everywhere for breaking classes. My mother, along with my little sister and brother and me, moved to another part of Graz. Unlucky for me, there was a dance school just around the corner. I went right in, and I didn't want to leave. I found my light, my true reason to live, in a time when I thought I had nothing. But it wasn't easy. My mother was always in fear that her past would catch up with her. The stress on my mother was unbearable. I think I saw her crying much more than I ever saw her laughing. And as you might expect, I had to step into the role of father for my younger siblings. But at the same time, I had a freedom which a now 12-year-old boy wouldn't normally have. I went to dance practice almost every day till late at night, and over time, I got better and better. Some of the older guys I was practicing with told me about a practice spot called the Killer Keller, so I sneaked out from home and went to practice there every day. Breaking for the first time gave me masculine role models I felt I'd never had. And I had to prove to myself that I can be everything, even a b-boy. And I wanted to become one of the best. One day, I went to practice, distracted by the drama and struggles of home. I wanted to relieve all the stress. I wanted to let off steam. I wanted to feel something. I went crazy. I danced through the whole room, and in a moment of animalistic expression, bam, I smashed the ghetto blaster. Ur, the head of the SMA crew, was very, very angry. He shouted, "You are such a Mogli!" Mogli. This was the moment I was given my b-boy nickname. And right now, there are more people that call me Mogli than even know my real name. To avoid the stress and drama, we left the women's shelter, changed my last name, and moved to somewhere where we couldn't be found. I had to quit school, and I had to quit breaking in my hometown too. So we moved here to Klagenfurt, and I had to start everything again from zero. We thought the life would be better, but it wasn't. My mother went into rehab, and as I grew up, my mother and I had lots of arguments about my future. She thought I had the wrong kind of friends, but I'd already decided I would be a b-boy for the rest of my life. Even though my mother discouraged me, I was still practicing every day and went to battles on the weekend. And I met Richie, Chris Cross, and Michi, and together we created the Funky Monkeys crew. We started small, but we grew, and we're now one of the strongest crews in Austria, thanks to Vasi, Sina, and Melissa, and the hard work of the rest of my crew. I wanted to be a professional b-boy, and now nothing could stop me. I dropped out of school, got my own flat, and became self-employed. And for the first time ever, I was truly my own boss. I began my career as a dancer and an artist, a career that's seen me travel around the world, winning awards, and being successful with my crew. I'm so thankful for everything that happened in my life. I am the man I am today because of my experiences. I never think for 1 second that I made it here alone. Because when you look at your success, you will always find inspiration and support from so many different people. From my friends, my social workers, my supporters, and my crew. These are the special family that helped me live my dream. So, here I am, doing what I love. But I'm not just here for my own success. I want to encourage my students, and especially the young people that have to grow up in similar circumstances to me. Trust me, don't give up. Do your thing. And as long as you don't give up, sooner or later, you get the results. The spirit of my dance is like the spirit of my life. Life lived in freestyle. This is Mogli's story. Fill up the room with